Hello, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel today. I'm very excited to present the next movie in our Oscar review series. This is Past Lives, um, directed by Celine Song. This movie is incredible. I just want to hop right into it. So, um, let's do that. So for this story, it's very straightforward, but honestly, for most movies, a very straightforward story can be really, really well done. It's well written. It's enticing. The hook of the story is essentially watching people go through their life, right? And obviously, this isn't a full life. This is about 24 years or so, and being able to watch as the two main characters, Nora and Haesung, having them, or Nora Moon. Sorry, I didn't add her last name. Um, Seeing them grow as humans. Um, of course, there's other characters too, although there's only really one other character. You see Nora's mom for a little bit, and Nora has a sister, but honestly, the only other character that's really worth mentioning is Arthur, which is um Nora's husband. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. Nora's husband, his name is Arthur. And he is like a white American. He says he's Jewish. So he's Jewish. But for the most part, Arthur feels inferior to Haesung, at least from what Nora says about Haesung. Um, I would say that there's two themes here, and one may be overlooked. I didn't overlook it because I could relate to Arthur despite never really been in that being in that position before, which was really confusing to me. And at first I was like to my friends, I'm like, I don't think it's just because we're both white. I think there's actually like have some sort of uh I have some sort of emotional connection with Arthur, but I couldn't place it. Um there's two themes, as I said before, reaffirmations of love, and then of course the knots that past lives can sew into other people's lives. It's complex in terms of that sort of theme because you think about past lives and how complex that can sort of get as a topic. Oh, well, 100 years ago were we something different? And they sort of explore that idea. Um, the movie does make it incredibly easy to understand. I really don't have much complaints about the themes and the characters in this at all. In fact, actually, at this point, I've pretty much already made most of my major critiques, and just that it's a fairly straightforward story. That's it. That's it. That's the only critique I really had. And honestly, I could even argue that that's not really even the case. Let's keep going. We talk about the fact that obviously this is a movie that's in Korean as well as English, but I would say it's at least 50-50. It might actually be more like 65-35 in Korean. I honestly am not 100% sure. I don't know Korean. I don't really know much about Korean culture. I've never been to South Korea, so honestly, I just don't know the culture that well. I did a little bit of research on it after watching the movie to make sure it was culturally accurate, but I figured it would be. It was a South Korean filmmaker who made it, so obviously in terms of um being accurate to Korean culture, it definitely gets a thumbs up from me. I was able to kind of start to gather a little bit of Korean, but the issue is that obviously I was watching with English subtitles, and also the fact that like I don't know what the word looks like, or and I couldn't always place how to pronounce it, but I could kind of start to tell. I could start to listen and really start to understand what they're saying even without the subtitles. Like words started to connect, but obviously I'd have to actually do Duolingo or something to understand Korean. Cinematography, obviously there's so many interesting shots. This movie is visually bright and detailed throughout. There's a couple times where obviously the cinematography isn't like anything special as that is in every movie, but every single time they get a chance to do one of those shots where they're panning down to the ground, you see raindrops. I mean, some of that I know maybe it's like corny and maybe it's cheesy to be like, that's an amazing shot, but I love detailed shots, and this movie does so many of them. I also really love in the bar scene towards the end, and obviously the very first thing you see in the movie. There's a lot of excluding or including Arthur throughout the scene, kind of show uh when Nora and Haisung are just kind of talking. Um, Arthur is noticeably absent, and the movie does a really good job of framing it that way in the frame of the scene. The length, I mean, we're talking about perfectly paced movie. This movie was about an hour and 45 minutes, and I actually really wanted more at the end, which normally could end up being sort of a complaint, but not really, because it still wrapped up perfectly. I just wish that there was still like, just a little bit more time I could spend with these characters. But yeah, it's a perfect length. I don't really have any notes about that. And then obviously for other little other oh my gosh, other section that we do. Um, I wish I knew more about Korean culture, like I said before, to better praise that aspect of the film. I didn't think I would have critiques there. I actually think this has a decent chance of winning Best Picture. I don't really know if it can compete against Oppenheimer. I guess we're gonna find out, but I love this. Probably is my pick for Best Picture. I don't know if Oppenheimer will top this. It might. I just don't expect it to. The performances are so captivating. Everyone does a really really good job. And then, of course, towards the end of the movie, there's a moment where Haesung and Nora are just kind of like staring at each other for about a minute, and it's just so intense and impactful. And you could, it's like 1,000 words in one picture. That's what I got out of that, and it was just so uh exhilarating. I really can't recommend this movie enough. It's intense at times, but it is so well done. My final score, it's going to be a 9.9 out of 10. I mean, this movie truly 5 stars easily, and I am so excited to keep going. But at the same time, I feel like this could be the best shot for Best Picture. But that's just my opinion. What was your opinion on the movie? Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you all. Peace.